Hi, poem coaxers. It's me, Amy Ludwig VanDerwater, here from my little writing house named Gratitude with my notebook and something you might not have expected today, which is some Legos. Today we are here for visit 3 of Coaxing Poems, and we'll call this one Make and Break a Pattern. Now, know this. Everything we talk about during this 10 visit series about poetry writing doesn't mean that each thing happens in every poem. So all of these little bits that I'll be sharing with you mean your poem might have this, or a poem could possibly include this. So today when we talk about patterns, please know that not all poems have obvious patterns, but some do. And it can be helpful for us when we read poems and when we write them to know this. So, Coaxing Poems. Visit 3, Make and Break a Pattern. I was writing in my notebook, really thinking about this and thinking about patterns and about Legos and how when we build with Legos, sometimes we use patterns of color and patterns of shape to help us. Now, I'm not the first person to use Legos to talk about patterns in writing, but today we'll be particularly looking at this with poetry. I'm going to share with you 3 short, non-rhyming poems that I've written and show you how I represent their patterns with Legos and invite you with the colors of Legos and invite you to try any of these that you wish or to make up your own poem using a completely different pattern and maybe try representing the pattern that you use with Legos yourself or with anything else that shows a pattern. You could draw it, you could, sketch it out, but let me share mine with you. So, the first poem that I'm going to read to you is about geese flying, read to you is about geese flying in the sky because I always love seeing when the geese fly south, and then I'm always very happy to see them back when they fly north because I live in Western New York, and so the geese come home to us when it's warmer. So this poem is called Year After Year. At least that's what it's called for now. The geese fly south, the geese fly north. The geese fly south, the geese fly north. The geese fly south, the geese fly north. I wish I could fly. Now here's how I show it in Legos. The geese fly south, the geese fly north. The geese fly south, the geese fly north. The geese fly south, the geese fly north. I wish I could fly. So you can see every time I have the geese flying south, I'm letting that be represented by a white Lego. Every time they fly north, by a blue. Now this doesn't mean the whole line would have to be exactly the same for that to be the pattern, but in my case, with this poem, it is. And there's a change at the end. And many people talk about poems being sometimes having a possible pattern of a list or something with a twist at the end. And you'll see that actually all 3 poems I share with you today have this twist at the end, represented, of course, by a different color Lego. So here's another one. This is one about my 2 cats, 2 of my cats, Winnie and Claude. We have a third lovely cat, Fiona, but she doesn't mix it up with them as much. So she is not in this poem. And this poem starts with Winnie. It doesn't have a title yet. It will. Winnie is a girl cat. Winnie has gold eyes. Winnie bosses everyone. Winnie climbs tall trees. Claude is a boy cat. Claude has orange eyes. Claude gets bossed by Winnie. Claude sings purry songs. But place a box in front of them, both will hop inside. So, follow along with me with the Legos. You can see right here. Winnie is a girl cat. Winnie has gold eyes. Winnie bosses everyone. Winnie climbs tall trees. Claude is a boy cat. Claude has orange eyes. Claude gets bossed by Winnie. Claude sings purry songs. But place a box in front of them, both will hop inside. And for this one, I did number the lines of the poem and numbered them here with a wipe off right here on the Lego. So you can see how these 2 patterns look different. I could have written my Winnie Claude poem going back and forth. Something about Winnie, something about Claude, something about Winnie, something about Claude, something about Winnie, something about Claude, something about them together. I read a great poem in Christine O'Connell George's Little Dog and Big Dog, or Big Dog, Little Dog, where she does that with these two dogs. So you can see these are both patterns, but they're different patterns. So one more for today. And this is a poem called Why I Don't Want to Finish My Book. I am actually reading a really good book right now that I don't want to finish. So it's called Why I Don't Want to Finish My Book. I won't see the characters every day. I won't stay up late to read. I won't carry this everywhere. I won't wonder what comes next. I won't sneak a peek at math. I won't keep saying it's the best. I won't cry or laugh as much. I think I'll feel a bit lonely. See the pattern? I won't, I won't, I won't, I won't, I won't, I won't, I won't. I think I will feel a bit lonely. Now, I want to show you something with this one. I could make a switch to this that would still keep a pattern, but tweak it a bit. And this is something I do a lot, and something for you to keep in your hat of possibilities. And that is, I could make this a circular poem. So watch, just by taking this last line and repeating it at the beginning of this poem. Now this poem would read like this. Why I don't want to finish my book. I think I'll feel a bit lonely. I won't see the characters every day. I won't stay up late to read. I won't carry it everywhere. I won't wonder what comes next. I won't sneak a peek at math. I won't keep saying it's the best. I won't cry or laugh as much. I think I'll feel a bit lonely. I'm not sure which one of those I like best. The one where it doesn't repeat the last line, or the one where it does. So I wrote these and then I made the Lego models. I could have made the Lego models first and then written poems, which would be a really interesting thing to try. I could have a few of these and then say, oh, I want to try to write something that matches this pattern, and I may actually do that sometime. Today, what I'd like to encourage and welcome and invite you to try sometime, today or someday in the future, is to read some poems and notice, what patterns do they have, these poems by others, and perhaps model them in Legos or some other tangible object, and or write a poem yourself that uses a pattern. If you wish to try one of these patterns, of course, you're most welcome to do that. If you wish to invent a completely different pattern, see a pattern in somebody else's poem and try that. It's a fabulous thing to do. And then if you want to color code your poem or make a model in Legos, you could do that. If in your class you make poems that use patterns, if everybody does, you could then make the models from each other's poems, or you could set up a little poem museum with the Lego models. So I'll be very interested to see what you do. But know this, many times in poems, what we do is we make and break a pattern. Not always, but often. So I wish you another beautiful week of writing. This is visit 3 of Coaxing Poems here in Gratitude. I look forward to seeing you next week. Take good care and happy writing.